అందరికి స్వాగతం. ఈరోజు ప్రెస్ కాన్ఫరెన్స్ ఏర్పాటు చేసిన దానికి ఉద్దేశం ఏంటంటే, మనకు ఈ మధ్యకాలంలో సిటీలో ట్రై కమిషనరేట్లో కూడా అట్లాగే అక్కడక్కడ రూరల్ ఏరియాస్ ఆఫ్ తెలంగాణ సెల్ ఫోన్ స్నాచింగ్స్ అనేవి చాలా తరచుగా, వెరీ ఆఫెన్, రెగ్యులర్లీ, ఆల్మోస్ట్ ఆన్ డైలీ బేసిస్ ఈ స్నాచింగ్ జరుగుతున్నట్టుగా గుర్తించాము. ముందు అంటే నేను చార్జ్ తీసుకున్న తర్వాత అది స్పోరాడిక్ ఐసోలేటెడ్ ఇన్సిడెంట్స్ అనుకున్నాం. అంటే ఇప్పుడు పనిపాటు లేని వాళ్ళు, కొంచెం రఫియన్స్ వాళ్ళు రాత్రిపూట పోయేటప్పుడు ఎవరైనా గలీబుల్ పీపుల్ రాత్రిపూట వాళ్ళు ఏదైనా రెస్టారెంట్ నుంచి వెళ్ళేటప్పుడు కానీ, మూవీస్ నుంచి వెళ్ళేటప్పుడు కానీ వాళ్ళని పట్టుకొని, లేదా కొంతమంది వర్క్ ప్లేస్ నుంచి వెళ్ళేటోళ్ళని, పెడెస్ట్రియన్స్ని ముందు వాళ్ళు టార్గెట్ చేసేవాళ్ళు. సో వీళ్ళు సడన్గా వీళ్ళు కూడా ఒక్కోసారి పెడెస్ట్రియన్స్ కానీ వచ్చేవాళ్ళు, కొన్నిసార్లు టూ వీలర్స్ మీద కూడా. సో వచ్చేసి వాళ్ళని స్నాచ్ చేయడం,
ఫ్యూ డేస్ వాళ్ళతో ఏదో టైం, లేకపోతే ఇప్పుడు ఈ బస్సు ఇక్కడ ఏమైనా బస్సు వస్తుందా పలానా చోటికి పోవడానికి అని వాళ్ళని ఎంగేజ్ చేసి, దెన్ వాడు ఆగి, అంటే ఆ పర్సన్ హూ ఎవర్ ఇస్ దట్ గలిబుల్ పర్సన్, అండ్ జనరల్లీ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఇన్ ద ఐసోలేటెడ్ ఏరియాస్ నైట్ టైం ఆఫ్టర్ 10:30-11 యూజువల్లీ. సో ఆ టైంలో వాళ్ళ మాటలు కూడా పెట్టి వాడు చెప్తూ వీళ్ళకి అంటే ఇన్నోసెంట్లీ అండ్ ఇన్ గుడ్ ఫెయిత్ అతను చెప్పే టైంలో అతని జేబుల్లోంచి సెల్ ఫోన్లు, ఈవెన్ డబ్బు ఉంటే కూడా డబ్బులు లాక్కున్న సందర్భాలు ఉన్నాయి. సో ఇన్సిడెంట్స్ అనుకున్నాం, కానీ రెగ్యులర్గా జరగడము, తర్వాత 1-2 కేసుల్లో మనం పట్టుకోవడం కూడా జరిగింది. బట్ అది రిసీవర్ వరకు పోకుండా అని పట్టుకున్నారు, సెల్ ఫోన్ సీజ్ చేశారు పోలీసులు, అంతవరకు ఆగుతున్నాయి. సో అంతవరకు వాడు కూడా అంతకంటే ఎక్కువ చెప్పట్లేదు. అంటే అవును సార్ నేను చేశాను, నాకు డబ్బు కావాల్సింది అందుకని చేశానని. బట్ వీ సెడ్ ద రిసీవర్ హీ మస్ట్ హ్యావ్ సోల్డ్ ఇట్ టు సమ్వన్. బట్ చాలా కేసుల్లో బిగినింగ్లో ఇమ్మీడియట్గా పట్టుకోవడంతో సెల్ ఫోన్ వాడు ఇంకా అమ్మేలోగానే మనకు రికవరీ కావడం, లేదా సెల్ ఫోన్ మన దగ్గర లేకపోయినా ఇది ఎక్కడో వేరే మా ఫ్రెండ్కి ఇచ్చానని చెప్పడం, ఇట్లా దాంతో. సో ఇట్ వాజ్ స్టిల్ ఇట్ వాజ్ ఎంక్వైర్డ్ ఫర్దర్ డీప్లీ. అండ్ ఇంకోటి గమనించింది ఏంటంటే, సమ్ ఆఫ్ దెమ్ వర్ ఆల్సో కాట్ బై ద వెరీ విక్టిమ్స్ అండ్ దేర్. ఇప్పుడు వాళ్ళు ఒకరిద్దరు వెళ్తుంటారు, సో వీళ్ళు ఇట్లా స్నాచ్ చేయడానికి ప్రయత్నం చేసినప్పుడు రెసిస్టెన్స్ ఇచ్చి గట్టిగా పట్టుకున్న విక్టిమ్స్ దెమ్సెల్వ్స్ పట్టుకొని కూడా అప్పచెప్పారు, ఒక 1 or 2 కేసెస్. సో ఇవన్నీ దెన్ తర్వాత వీ ఆల్సో ఫౌండ్ అవుట్ దట్ సమ్ ఆఫ్ దీస్ అఫెండర్స్ హ్యావ్ స్టోలెన్ టూ వీలర్స్ సిటీలో కానీ బయట కానీ, ఇక్కడ కమిట్ చేసి బయటికి వెళ్ళి అఫెన్సులు చేస్తున్నారు ఈ స్నాచింగ్లు, లేదా అక్కడ కమిట్ చేసి ఇక్కడ స్నాచింగ్లు చేస్తున్నారు. అండ్ దే డోంట్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ బ్యారియర్స్, దే ఆర్ మూవింగ్ అట్లీస్ట్ ఐ కెన్ సర్టన్లీ సే ఇన్ ట్రై కమిషనరేట్ ఏరియాస్. ఇట్స్ నాట్ దట్ దే ఆర్ కన్ఫైన్డ్ టు. ఇప్పుడు ఇవాళ మీకు ప్రెస్ నోట్లో మీకు ఇస్తున్నది కొన్ని, అంటే ఆ కేసుల్లో మనం ఈ తీగ లాగాం కాబట్టి ఇవి ఇస్తున్నాం కానీ, బట్ అదర్వైజ్ దిస్ particular menace, why I am calling it as a menace, because it is happening regularly and then slowly trickle ga start every day in the morning when I was taking teleconference, almost 3-4 cases kuda aa level ku vachai. Inka further ga then it has been entrusted to also task force to investigate and get the information total thing. So వాళ్ళు చాలా శ్రద్ధగా తర్వాత చాలా గట్టిగా పనిచేసి ఈ టోటల్ ర్యాకెట్ని అనర్ట్ చేశారు. And the very purpose of CP attending this press conference and briefing, all of you, is to tell our people, our citizens, not only in the city, the entire Telangana, and that this is a menace and you have to take certain precautions. Adi nenu towards the end cheptanu adi. And the second thing is to expose this international racket. This is an international racket now, and the offenders are also, some of them are the illegal immigrants staying in Hyderabad. And they are selling it by exporting in sense illegal modes dwara to other countries. So that's why this press conference today, and to give you the details of this particular today whatever we are presenting before you. Ikkada manam 7 కేసులకు సంబంధించి ఈరోజు 7 cases registered in out of them 7 cases registered in Hyderabad city and 1 LB Nagar case motorcycle theft. So these offenders ఇందులో ఒక ఇద్దరు motorcycle theft కూడా చేశారు. చేసి తర్వాత they have committed these 7 offences in the city. సో ఈ 7 అఫెన్సెస్ సంబంధించిన అక్యూజ్ని తర్వాత ఇవాళ వాళ్ళ దగ్గర నుంచి రికవర్ చేసిన ఈ మొత్తం 703 స్మార్ట్ ఫోన్స్ని ఇవాళ మీ ముందు వాళ్ళ వివరాలు చెప్తున్నాము. టోటల్ దెర్ ఆర్ 12 plus 5, 17 accused involved in this particular episode. We still believe there are a couple of other modules also, cells, which are operating like this. We are working on it and we are very confident that we'll unearth it. It's not just, I told you, it is international racket. So this particular racket, I mean this particular organized crime is connected to Sudan. So the Sudanese are there. Out of the 17, there are 5 Sudanese illegal immigrants who are staying in Hyderabad, and these people are finally one of them, who is the ultimate receiver, is sending them to Sudan through ships, packing them in seafood, తర్వాత ఇంకా అదర్ ఫుడ్స్ ఈ థర్మో దాంట్లో ఈ ఫ్రోజన్ ఈ కంటైనర్స్లో బాక్సెస్లో పంపిస్తారు. ఆ వాటిలో అటువంటి బాక్సెస్లో వీటిని పెట్టి పంపిస్తున్నట్టు కూడా మనకు తెలిసింది. అండ్ సుడాన్ పోయిన తర్వాత దెన్ దే సెల్ ఇట్ whatever price there. As you know, Sudan is a poor country, so obviously if an iPhone, and the range of these phones, as you already would have seen it, is ranging from the latest iPhones to Android phones to even the smaller ones like 8,000, 9,000 Oppo and things like that. So what they do is, before I give the names, what they do is, one sending it, I mean this receiver, finally there is a chain of the whole this network. So finally this receiver, final fellow, the main fellow, who is a Sudanese, he sends it across to Sudan, and there they sell it whatever price, and because they are all stolen, so even if it is sold at half price, the people who are buying also would be happy. And these people anyway, they don't accept perhaps maybe little transportation charges. And we are also coming to know, not in this case, that in some other cases now these gangs are even paying the regular wages for the people, identifying the gullible unemployed youth, to snatch these phones, and then so they are paid also, like their regular, as if they are on the regular payment rolls, salary rolls. So వీళ్ళు ఆ ఖర్చులు కొంత ఇన్సిడెంటల్ ఖర్చులు ఉంటాయి, ఇన్సిడెంటల్ ఎక్స్పెన్సెస్ తప్ప ఎక్కువ ఉండవు. సో ఇట్స్ టోటలీ ప్రాఫిట్ ఫర్ దెమ్. సో ఇది టుడే వీ హ్యావ్, యాజ్ ఐ టోల్డ్ యూ, 703 స్మార్ట్ ఫోన్స్. అఫ్ కోర్స్ వన్ బజాజ్ పల్సర్ బైక్ విచ్ we seized from the accused who has stolen it from LB Nagar area and then committed all these offences. Now, out of 17, the 12 are residents of Hyderabad. So 1 or 2 may not be native of Hyderabad, but I think rest of them are residents of Hyderabad. 5 are Sudanese. Just to read out the names: Muzammil alias Muju ani, in Tadman area lo untadu. Syed Abrar, Syed Salim, Patan Rabbani Khan, Mohammad Attar, Mohammad Jakir, Sheikh Ajar, Mohammad Khaja Nijamuddin, Syed Laik, Sheikh Ajar Moinuddin. Of course, these details are there in the press note that is being given. Mohammad Safi alias Bablu is important. Then J. Elmanda Reddy, son of Bakir Reddy, who is resident of Banjara Hills, but he has got, this connection is very important. He has got a shop in Jagdish Market. The Jagdish Market connection is very, very important. So Jagdish Market is acting also as a center for receiving these phones. What are those phones? Because I told you, they are actually taking it to other countries. But which cell phones land up in Jagdish Market? Elmanda Reddy is one such fellow. There are many others whom we are now watching. What they do is, if any of these cell phones are already little damaged, so suppose screen kuch damage ayindi, so they may not be, the customers back in those countries, they may not be willing to buy them. Okay, so what they are doing, such cell phones, they are bringing it to the Jagdish Market. They are dismantling all of them, every part, the camera, speaker, whatever usable spare parts, and then they are being sold to people who want them. In some phones, screen is good, but the phone is not working, speaker is gone. The screen, whatever that screen, display screen. So there are demand for this display screens, because మనం చాలా మంది మన ఫోన్లు వాడుతున్నప్పుడు పడినప్పుడు పగిలిపోతుంటాయి. So now it has become a destination, Jagdish Market. So they know there they get the original spare parts, and if you buy it from the original equipment manufacturer, an iPhone screen, that itself would cost 30,000-40,000, but you will sell it here for 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, whatever, depending on the keenness of the customer, and whatever his affordability, his paying capacity, etc. So it's a bargain, you know that. So Jagdish market is one thing which we are now paying close attention, and then we'll be stopping all these illegal activities there. So these 12 people, Yalmanda Reddy is a fellow who was doing this, opening a counter in Jagdish market. There, like this only, there will be a counter, and they will be having all the display items of all these spare parts. People can come and buy, and original, mind you, these are original because these are stolen original cell phones, originally made cell phones. Now the Sudanese. So there are 5: Al-Badwi, Usman Babikar, Shah Abdullah, Sali Abdullah, Abdelgar Ahmad, and El Tayeb Muhammad. So వీళ్ళందరికీ who is the kingpin? Muhammad Shafi alias Bablu. He has shops. He has also shops located in Jagdish market. And then finally, from here, they sell it to one Muhammad Al-Badwi. That is number one. Number one of these 5 Sudanese. This Al-Badwi is the final receiver, at least on the Indian side. He collects all these phones by paying something, and all these offenders are selling them. They are now selling the phones, so they sell at different prices depending on their own necessity. Meeku telusadi. So then he takes them to Sudan through seaport, as I told you, concealing them in those boxes of supposed to carry the frozen food to all those countries, frozen seafood. So those thermo boxes which they conceal, I mean these items are put and then they are sent through. As you know, seaports, there is scanning and all will not be that. I don't know if there is even a scanning facility in seaports. I have not traveled at least to other countries on any sea route. So, but airports, surely they'll be caught in the scanning and all at the CASF security check counter. So they are using these sea routes to smuggle these stolen phones across the seas all the way to Sudan, this particular gang. Now, if you see, some of these accused are also having previous history of not only this cell phone, other thefts, and also most of them are of course the thieves. They are and mostly it is cell phones only. For example, if you see Syed Salim, who is at serial number 3. So he is involved in already 6 cases of 6 theft cases. Similarly, Muhammad Jakir, I think he is at serial number 2. No, 6. So he is involved in as many as 11 cases. 11 cases of 379. Some of them are attempts. 411. I think these attempts are cell phones only. Cell phones. Then you see the history of Syed Laik. Syed Laik alias Bablu. So he is involved in 6 cases. And they are all across the city, across the tri-commissionerates, like GD Metla, then mostly in Hyderabad city. They have at least admitted to this Hyderabad city, and as per record, so we could find these cases. So we'll also be intimating other, of course, particularly Telangana police, including the tri-commissionerates. So if they have any cases which are registered, then they will obviously, they can also check back and then see if their involvement is there. Then this Muhammad Shafi alias Bablu, who I told is the fellow, the final receiver at our side among Indians, who takes this to Jagdish market and also sells this to this Muhammad Al-Badwi of Sudan. And the value of all these 703 phones that have been seized today, presented before you, is estimated conservatively. We have not done it as per the market value, little conservatively, to be 1.75 crores. And today, through you, what I told you why Commissioner of Police is attending this press conference, because this has become a bigger menace, and this has become an everyday headache for police, and obviously all citizens are at risk to lose such phones to such people who are on prowl in the city, particularly in the cities, urban areas, and any one of us can become victims tomorrow, innocent victims. So I want, through you, I want to tell them that we caught these gangs, and we are still, there may be a couple of other modules which we will be catching. and we have information, we are working on that. But from their side, they should know that now how these offenders are operating. I just told you, I'll again, specifically with a focus on this, I'll tell you through the press. See, they are targeting the gullible, all of us who are gullible citizens, who may be coming out of the restaurants, coming out of the malls at odd hours in the night, and then we may be going alone also, walking to a certain point, from mall to maybe metro station, mall to a bus station, or mall to your homes which are nearby, maybe a kilometer, so you want to walk. And what they do, so when you are going at certain places where it is little isolated, dark, and then there's no one, and then suddenly these people can come and snatch phones. So you should take care not to become a victim like this, number one. Number two, of course, I'm not asking them not to move. City, you can't, I'm not expecting them to, be indoors and not do anything. Not at all. We are there, we'll take care of you, but you also be aware, because some of these victims have resisted and caught also. So if you are aware, I think it is difficult for anyone to approach you, and secondly, I told you, innocently they will stop you and ask you, Anna, ekada Sreenivasa station ekada, లేకపోతే అన్న బహదూర్పురాలో మార్కెట్ ఎక్కడ, లేకపోతే మెట్రో స్టేషన్ పోవాలంటే ఎట్లా పోవాలా. సో be very, very careful with them, and particularly at that kind of hour and that kind of place, isolated place, don't answer them, don't stop for them, continue to move. And then of course you have dial 100 always. If you have a doubt, please immediately, while refusing to interact with them, while on move only, you please call dial 100 also. Number 3, some of these cab drivers particularly, and some truck drivers, and maybe drivers of other cars, so who are in the middle of the night maybe taking rest, because they must have driven the car or the vehicle all the day, and then the cab drivers, etc. So they may be taking rest maybe under a tree near Gauligooda. It happened at Gauligooda MGPT bus terminal. So summer, so they'll sleep on the seat, and then keeping their phone maybe by the side and on another seat, and then open the windows or open even the doors so as to allow ventilation. So they have targeted such people also. They snatched. Some of them, of course, were awake, and by the time they were awake and then alert, phones have been snatched. Some of them, while they were asleep, they didn't even know. After they got up, maybe after a few hours, then they came to know. So these are all the the pitfalls where you can become a victim. So అందరికీ నేను మీ తరఫున చెప్పేది ఏంటంటే, దయచేసి అలర్ట్గా ఉండండి. డోంట్ మూవ్, particularly in some of those deserted areas. Don't move alone. You always go with friends for movie or restaurant or whatever. So if you are, I think you have a company, you have a buddy, the chances are less that these people try to target you. Number 2, couple of cases when the resistance happened from the victims, so only couple of cases, they also used knives, in which we are keeping the Arms Act also. They used knives to threaten. Of course, in one case there was a scratch injury, just to alert you that some of them could be, because you can understand if the Sudanese and other people, some of them are involved, you don't know which one of them is a hardened criminal. We don't know which one of them is graduating from a small cell phone snatcher to something else. We are finding in Hyderabad city, we have illegal immigrants. That is an issue, I admit, and we are focusing paying our attention to it. I will be slowly doing cleaning up act in this regard. Some of them are involved in drug peddling also, and then drug is a big mafia, and then drug is a very, very dark area where people get hardened. They can become hardened criminals. So be alert. And another thing, losing a cell phone, for some of them, just losing a cell phone, maybe it is also, if you are a rich kid, perhaps you think, okay, I lost cell phone, now my father will buy a new one for me. But then you must understand that these cell phones can also be used for committing cyber crimes. So they can steal your data, they can steal your passwords, they can get access to your bank accounts and the personal information, and then it can lead to even bigger crime. It can lead to bigger crime against you, where you lose lakhs of rupees from your accounts. Or maybe some of the information on these cell phones can also be used, personal information, which is it right to privacy, can be used against you to blackmail you, to threaten you, some of your personal information. So be very careful. And there is what is called as the CEIR అని ఒకటి మనకు సెంట్రల్ ఎక్విప్మెంట్ ఐడెంటిటీ రిజిస్టర్ అని ఉంటుంది. ఈ ఫోన్స్ పోయిన ఫోన్స్ మేము ఏం చేస్తామంటే ఈ IMEI నంబర్స్ అవన్నీ కూడా ఇమ్మీడియట్గా అక్కడ ఎంటర్ చేస్తే దిస్ ఈజ్ దిస్ ఇస్ డేటాబేస్ విచ్ ఈస్ షేర్డ్ బై ద ఎంటైర్ పోలీస్ ఆఫ్ తెలంగాణ అండ్ ఈవెన్ ద కంట్రీ ఆల్సో. సో wherever it is recovered, so if we cross check with this CEIR app website, it's a government website, it's created by our Telangana police but being adopted by the entire country. So then there are chances of recovery. So try to also have your IMEI numbers with you, and then so that when you are giving complaint అది కూడా ఇస్తే ఇమీడియట్గా మన కంపారిజన్లో కూడా అంటే ఎంటర్ చేస్తే తర్వాత కంపారిజన్ కూడా అవుతుంది ఎక్కడన్నా ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ రికవర్డ్ సమ్వేర్ ఎల్స్. అండ్ finally, yes, I know some of these offences may not be getting reported also. So I don't know. I mean, this may be just a tip of iceberg. So some of them may not be preferring to, particularly if they are smaller and older phones. So we don't know how many people have reported and how many. But I mean, we made it a policy that there is no barking of crime in Hyderabad city. Any petitioner coming with any request, once it is cognizable, will register FIRs, including the zero FIRs. As you know, if it doesn't belong to our jurisdiction also, we don't refuse and return the petitioner. We'll register and then transfer to the concerned jurisdiction, maybe within the city or outside the city. So we are registering all the cases, but there may be still some cases which are not reported. But as and when, if and when we get more information and recover, perhaps we will be able to tell you also. So this is about, as you know, you can see the range of the models of these phones range from Apple to Samsung, Vivo, Redmi, Realme, OnePlus, Oppo, Poco. Poco is another brand. Poco, I didn't know about this. Poco, so on and so forth. So thank you so much. This is all about this thing. Thank you.